Hi, I need to report another demon infestation. Yeah, I know my rates are going up again. This is 1974's Abby. In a lovely park, the students of Dr. Garrett Williams throw him a going-away party. The discussion moves from his Nigerian travel plans to the cult of Ishu, a religion dedicated to the Western African deity that Dr. Williams plans to make part of his upcoming sabbatical. After many reminders, he finally opens his going-away gift, a handcrafted cross necklace, which will surely come into play later. Williams and his team explore a cave system, coming upon an ebony puzzle box depicting Ishu. Of course, the box is open, and it releases a great wind associated with the god. Back in Louisville, the doctor's son Emmett and his wife Abby move into a lovely new home. As a side note, I have to give kudos to Abby for doing all of that moving in heels, cause I know I couldn't pull that off. From the first night, it's clear the house has a lot to say. Abby's shadow starts to show signs of possession in the shower, but it also might just be a natural reaction to the start of the work week as well. The possession kicks into high gear as Abby is breaking down chicken and cuts her arm. She seems to have a reprieve as she lights up the congregation with her lovely voice. But things turn dark quickly as she attacks a parishioner. Then the line of professional courtesy is breached with an offer to fuck a client during their counseling session. The last straw comes as a demon in Abby scares a woman to death. She's admitted to the hospital for tests, although nothing physical is found to be wrong. Emmett speaks to his father, who jumps on the first plane back from Nigeria to come to his family's aid, and this excites the demon.
I want to thank you for calling that motherfucking father of yours.
Abby lays a smackdown on the hospital staff and goes home to meet the doctor and Emmett. After a little polite conversation, she bitch slaps both of them and lays out her straightforward plan.
I'll let you know when I'm ready for you. And then I'm going to get your ass.
Abby disappears into the night with Emmett in hot pursuit. At one point, Emmett stops to check in with his dad, only to get an unsolicited payphone call complete with soundtrack.
Is anyone there?
Got a message from your loving wife.
Abby rocks up to a club and flirts with a fellow church parishioner before making him seek God and smoking him good. She enjoys it so much, she goes back for another guy who is way too caught up in a W.C. Fields accent.
Well, thank you, my little chickadee.
A great song breaks out.
Tomorrow, from days we've left behind.
As Abby continues to enjoy herself, tossing guys around like they're nothing. Her greeting to the doc and Emmett when they finally catch up with her is about what you'd expect.
Hello, motherfucker.
This warm greeting is also where I leave you. Will the doc's cross become a fashion trend among club patrons? Will Abby start a marriage counseling service built around fucking the clients? Does Emmett need some ice for that bitch slap? Check out the movie and find out the answers to these questions for yourself. 1974's Abby is a blaxploitation horror film directed by William Girdler. It stars Carol Speed as Abby along with William Marshall and Terry Carter. Out of the gate, this movie has a behind-the-scenes story that would make for a pretty damn good film itself. Abby, being a take on The Exorcist, was released almost exactly a year later and made $4 million in its first month, which, considering its production budget of around $250,000, is a pretty good take. Whether right or wrong, Warner Brothers took note of the similarities to The Exorcist and filed a lawsuit against American International Pictures, claiming Abby was derivative of their film. It was promptly pulled from theaters and a multi-year legal battle ensued. Everything the movie made went into the legal fight, leaving director William Girdler with nothing to show for the initial success of the film. For a variety of reasons, including the lawsuit and ownership rights, Abby was out of circulation for over a decade and a clean original copy of the film remains unreleased. There have been multiple DVD releases made, mainly using a flawed 16mm copy. Like with The Exorcist, the production was plagued with incidents including a deadly series of tornadoes that hit Louisville during the shoot. The untimely death of William Girdler isn't linked to the movie, but is tragic nevertheless. While scouting locations in the Philippines for an upcoming film in 1978, his helicopter crashed and he was unfortunately killed. The prolific director released 9 feature films in 6 years, reaching Roger Corman levels of activity. Grizzly was one of 1977's top-grossing films, and in addition to Abby, Sheba Baby and Manitou have gone on to have long-lasting love and respect from their audiences. The cast's recollections of the film are a mixed bag, with Carol Speed saying that she was able to really show off her acting through Abby, whereas William Marshall was relatively unhappy with the production, mostly because of the script revisions that were never followed through on. Carol Speed is a joy to watch in this film. She seems like she's having a good time and really lives in the character. Additionally, she wrote and sang Is Your Soul a Witness during the church scene. This was my first viewing of Abby, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. It ranks right up there with Blackula and Sugar Hill, and I'm definitely adding it to my lineup of Spooky Month essentials. It has a lot of charm, and folks seem to put everything into making this something special. Plus, any movie with William Marshall is a win in my book. As far as comparisons to The Exorcist, I guess you could claim the similarities, but I don't think its storyline is any closer than any other movie made in that era about that subject. My personal thought is that The Exorcist was such a cultural phenomenon, Warner Brothers feared anything that might remotely steal its thunder. William Girdler admitted that Abby rides the coattails of The Exorcist, but it was also inspired by Rosemary's Baby. Is that so different from many B-movies that followed that same trend? Did it deserve to be nearly wiped clean from existence for daring to tell its story? Personally, I don't think so, but understand that this is me looking at things from 50 years on, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. What this comes down to is that Abby is definitely worth a watch. It's got a little cheek and a whole lot of fun, especially in a group setting during Spooky Month. So what do you think? Suggestions for movies, trivial questions, comments, ratings, and an unexpected phone call complete with soundtrack would be appreciated. Thank you so very much for watching.